Ambassador Zekthal's four eyes darted nervously around the pristine diplomatic chamber aboard the neutral station Harmony's Echo. The Veltar had spent 3 rotations preparing for this moment, the first formal contact with the species that had somehow clawed their way off the nightmare planet humans called Earth. The briefings had been disturbing. Death World classification, Omega 7. Gravity 1.2 times galactic standard. Atmospheric pressure lethal to most species. Weather patterns that could strip flesh from bone. Predators that hunted in coordinated packs. And somehow, impossibly, a species had not only survived there but thrived enough to achieve faster than light travel. The airlock hissed open with mechanical precision. Ambassador Sarah Chen stepped through, and Zekthal's breathing apparatus wheezed in shock. She was smaller than expected, barely reaching his mid-torso, but there was something in her movement, a controlled fluidity that set every survival instinct screaming. Her skin was marked with thin white lines, scars that spoke of violence survived, but what truly unnerved him were her eyes. Forward-facing, predator's eyes, scanning the room with an intensity that made his exoskeleton itch. "Ambassador Zekthal," she said, her voice carrying an odd warmth that didn't match her appearance. "Thank you for agreeing to this meeting." "Of course," Zekthal managed, his translator struggling with the human's complex tonal patterns. "Please be seated." Chen moved to the chair designed for her species, too small, too fragile-looking for someone from a death world. She settled into it with an ease that somehow made her more threatening, not less. "I understand you have concerns about humanity's application to join the Galactic Council," she began, her expression neutral. Zekthal's tentacles writhed nervously. "Your species is unprecedented. Our xenobiologists still struggle to understand how you survived, let alone prospered, on such a hostile world." Something flickered across Chen's face. Amusement, perhaps. "Earth taught us to be adaptable. We learned early that the universe doesn't owe us anything." "Yes, but your applications for trade routes through the Kepler sector are being blocked because you're afraid of us," Chen interrupted, though her tone remained pleasant. The bluntness struck Zekthal like a plasma bolt. In galactic diplomacy, such directness was considered barbaric. Yet somehow from her it felt refreshing. "Not afraid," he protested weakly. "Concerned. Your species shows concerning levels of aggression. The incident at Proxima Station, where human civilians fought off Ravager pirates who were selling children into slavery." Chen's voice didn't change, but something shifted in her posture. Zekthal's skin prickled with sudden awareness of danger. "You killed 17 sentients. We saved 43. She leaned forward slightly. "Including 12 Veltar younglings." Zekthal fell silent. He had read the reports, but hearing it from her made the mathematics somehow more stark, more real. "Ambassador," Chen continued, "I think there's been a fundamental misunderstanding about my species. We're not monsters. We're just very, very good at surviving." She stood then, moving with that same predatory grace to the viewport. The stars beyond seemed dimmer in her presence. "Do you know what the worst predator on Earth was, Ambassador?" "I do. The reports mentioned creatures called sharks. Or perhaps bears?" Chen's reflection in the viewport showed something that made Zekthal's blood chill. She was smiling. It wasn't the expression itself. Many species displayed dental structures as social signals. It was the context. The way her lips curved with genuine warmth while discussing predators. The way her eyes crinkled with what appeared to be fondness. "Humans," she said simply. "We are apex predators who learned to cooperate on a scale no other Earth species achieved. We domesticated wolves, pack hunters nearly as dangerous as ourselves. We turned every other predator into either a pet, a trophy, or a memory." She turned back to face him, and that smile remained. "But here's what makes us different from the monsters you're imagining, Ambassador. We chose to aim that capability outward, not inward. When we found the stars, we didn't come as conquerors. We came as explorers, as traders, as friends, if you'll have us." Zekthal found himself leaning back despite himself. "And if we won't?" The smile never wavered, but something arctic entered Chen's eyes. "Then we'll find other friends. The universe is vast, Ambassador. There are plenty of civilizations that would appreciate having humans watching their backs instead of having to worry about what we might do with our fronts." The threat was delivered with such casual warmth that it took several seconds for Zekthal to process it. When he did, his breathing apparatus nearly failed entirely. "You're saying I'm saying that you have a choice, Chen interrupted gently. You can have us as allies, people who will stand between your children and the dark things that hunt in space. Or you can have us as strangers who owe you nothing when those same dark things come calling. She moved back toward her chair, each step measured and deliberate. The pirates we stopped at Proxima Station? They weren't the only ones. There are worse things out here, Ambassador. Things that view your peaceful civilizations as hunting grounds. Things that don't care about diplomatic immunity or neutral zones. Chen sat down again, folding her hands in her lap. The motion should have made her appear smaller, more harmless. Instead, it reminded Zekthal of a coiled spring. Humans have a saying, she continued conversationally. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. We're devils you can know, Ambassador. We're devils who will stand with you against the devils who only see you as prey. That smile remained throughout, warm and genuine and absolutely terrifying. Zekthal realized he was trembling. Not from fear, though there was certainly that, but from a sudden, overwhelming understanding. This was what had allowed humans to survive their death world. Not just the ability to be dangerous, but the wisdom to choose when and how to apply that danger. The Council will approve your application, he heard himself saying. Chen's smile brightened, becoming something purely human and grateful. Thank you, Ambassador. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. As she left, Zekthal slumped in his chair, finally understanding the old galactic proverb. A Deathworlder's smile is the last thing you ever want to see. Not because it meant death, but because it meant they'd already decided you were worth keeping alive.